your brains beat out. And after a while, you stop believing that good things can happen to you, that you're worthy of it. And you know, people start twisting things, even the stuff that's written in Scripture. I've heard people say, man, money is bad. No, it makes people bad. No, go back and read the thing over. It's for the love of money. There's a difference. All right? And here's a truism. Any rich jerk I ever met was a jerk when they were poor. The only difference is they can be a bigger one now because they can. Right? And so it doesn't make you a bad person. It will make you more of what you are. So don't be afraid of it. But what I'm saying is prepare for it. Don't be someone that blows a river because money hits you and you haven't prepared for it by getting personal development along the way and bettering yourself and looking in the mirror and say, hey, I can do that better. Or hey, that was my fault. I can make a correction there. Own your life. Take ownership of who you are and what you want to be. And when you do that, the sky's the limit. Until you point the finger around at everybody else, you will never have success here or anyone else or anywhere else. I don't care who you are. And I don't care what success you've had in the past. You have to get to that point here. And when you do that, you're ready. But you got to be aggressive. I mean, we talked from stage about going out and sponsoring 4 people. Delete that from your mind. Anything you hear from stage, I want you to add the words "at least" to the end of it. This is about massive action, guys. This is about tearing it up. This isn't about pacing yourself. Anytime I've seen someone try to pace themselves in this business, they don't end up making it to the end game. And so you look at that and you say, okay, what should I do? I had the best coaches in the entire industry. You know, Derek's father, Craig, you guys will probably never really see him around. He should be your idol, though, because one day you want anonymity. You guys know what that word means? That means no one even knows that you even exist. But New Skin knows where your bank account is, and they wire it every month. That's who you want to be. You don't want to be the guy. You don't want to be the guy that has to have all the attention. You want people to not even know your name. And once that happens, I'm telling you what, your life's your own. That's the idol you should have. It's him. Well, he was helping me in this business. And I just said to him, man, I just need your help for the first little bit, and I think maybe I can have my confidence where it needs to go. And so we came out of the gate with his help. I was part-time. We sponsored 18 people in the first month. 18, not 4. Out of the 18, 6 self-identified themselves and said, we want to do this. We're putting our LOIs in. Can you help us? Okay, now this is interesting because this is what happens to most people. Okay, we have these 18, 6 say they want to be executives that file their LOIs. The other 12, there were guys that had potential in that other 12. You know what most people do? I think if I go over here and work with these guys here, I can maybe turn them around and get them doing something. These guys over here seem to get it. I'll just let them sail. Wrong. You don't do that. We focused on the 6, and what do? We put them on the spot. If I say Karen's one of those, Karen, okay, you're ready to go. She's hot. She sees it going on. I'm coming to your house next Thursday. We want 10 last names there. That means you've got to invite 30 last names to get 10, because most people will tell you they're not coming. They'll tell you they're coming, and they won't show up. All right? And so that's what we do. We go do the meeting. Lo and behold, there's a few people there whose eyes light up. We focus on them, get them in the business, and do the same with them. And we keep repeating it down, 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 driving the line. And maybe the first presentation or two, I'm doing the whole thing. As I get into it a few times, I pull her in the loop, and she maybe takes a point. Maybe she stands up and shares her story. By the time we do 10 of those presentations, I might even turn the thing over to her and step back and let it roll. Because that's what you want. You want it to roll. You want transactions happening in your business. You don't even know they're going on because you're not involved in it. And when you get that happening, the thing takes on a mind of its own. And I'm telling you what, the sky's the limit. You'll have so much money you can't count it. And you'll have a lifestyle. But if you think it's about you and you got to dominate the whole scene, you will never get to the end game. Right? Anonymity. You guys understand that? Yeah. Put that on your goal sheet. I want to be a nobody. All right? I want to be a nobody. Full throttle, 18. That means you just go for it. Okay, well, out of that, focused on the 6, but I didn't stop there. The next month, I sponsored 5 more people. And the next month, I sponsored 5 more people. And the next month, 5 more people. And I did that for the next 12 to 18 months. And the reason I did that is I had so many people that I had on my plate, I could not even help them if I wanted to. My phone's ringing off the wall. I don't have to call people to get them out of bed, because if they're not calling me, they're not getting any attention. Does that make sense to you guys? You want your business to grow? Create that energy. It's not a Sunday stroll in the park. You're not calling people up and kicking them out of bed to get them going. They're not calling you. They're not in the deal. And what is our job? Our job is to expose the business to people on our list and to the people in our group and the people on their list. Does that make sense? That's your job description. We're exposing and closing. Exposing and closing. That's it. Anything you do outside of those two things is a waste of your time. Expose and close. And if you teach that to your team, and at the end game it's anonymity, I'm telling you what, you'll build a dream you can't even comprehend right now. But you have to have that in there. And that's what we did. And sure enough, those 6 became executives, started rolling, time went on. And I sponsored more people the first 12 to 18 months, first level, than I have ever since. And I've been in this business about 28 years now. Lesson learned. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. You cannot sit and pace yourself. You cannot sit and say, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. You do it now. And if you'll take that attitude and not just talk the talk, but walk the walk, your group will follow you. They do what you do, never what you say. Understand? Okay. Establish your attitude. You don't have time for negative. We kind of talked about this. Don't let negative people dump that crap in your ear. You know where you're going. Just do it. Control your posture. Lee kind of talked about this. And I'm not talking about standing up straight. What I'm talking about, if you're in the business, and this is human interaction, this is nothing new. He talked about the dog and the cat. You remember that? It's really simple. If this is me, this is Karen, let's say we're old schoolmates, because this is typically what happens. Most of the people you prospect are not in your lives on a daily basis. Maybe you haven't seen her for a few years. So I might call her up and do something like this. And people say, well, what are the words you say? The words aren't relevant. What's important is your posture. All right? And I might say something like, Karen. Now, Karen's good at sales. All right? Those who don't know Karen, I know Karen. She's good at sales. She can go sell anything she wants to sell. So if my pitch is like this to Karen, oh, Karen, this is Jeff. I wanted to call you because I'm in this deal, and you are so good. You are so good. I think you can make a lot of money at this. Now, what do you think Karen's going to be doing? More often than not, she's going to lean away from me. All right? Because it's like, okay, what's in it for Jeff? He wants to make money off me, or this is another one of those stupid deals. All right? And I'm a salesperson. You think she's been approached before by something? She's in sales. Yeah, probably a bunch of times. So you don't want to do that. And I know this because I did that. How many of you guys have done that before? Don't be shy. How many of you have just absolutely bludgeoned people on your list to death? I mean, there's so much blood running out of the phone, you're like, holy crap, what did I just do? I did that. All right? And so I know not to do it anymore. Course correction. Okay, so what happens is this. Hi, Karen, this is Jeff. I've been meaning to catch up with you, and I'd like to do that. But the reason I called is business. Boom, right there. We don't talk for 5-10 minutes about, our lives and then try to shift it. Every time you do that, people feel like you just came in and hit them in the head with something, right? They do. So I'm sitting there and I say, okay, Karen, look, you know what? It's interesting about this because when I thought about calling you, I almost didn't call you. Because I don't know if this is for you or not. It may not be. But you know what? Our company is literally exploding. We are growing by billions. And we've got some things that no one else has. You owe it to yourself to check this out. And like I said, if it's not for you, no big deal. Okay, now if she's a prospect at 12 o'clock, meaning she wants to change her life, she's going to be leaning towards me. If she's not a prospect, and it does not matter what I say to her. You guys understand that? It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what I do. I could drag her in front of the best people in this business. I can stick her in Blake Roney's office and have her spend an hour with him. And she's probably not going to do it. Because she's not there yet. But if she's there, she's going to lean. And that's where you got to control yourself. Because you're just talking enough to get her to the next situation, maybe to look at something on the internet, listen to something, come to a meeting, sit down for coffee. I don't care what it is. You're just going for the next step. Never pitch the deal on the phone and don't think you're going to close it. I've never seen anyone that's good at that. Nobody. So don't do it. Does that make sense? Control your posture. Project confidence. You've got the goods. Don't you dare beg anybody to do this. Ever. Ever. Nobody has this. So don't put yourself in a position of weakness. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? The person that wins here is the one that's in the position of strength. And that's how life works anyway. I mean, if you think about dating, you know, the person that has the posture thing going controls the relationship. Is that true? It absolutely is true. So find yourself as that person that controls the flow. Don't be the person. If you feel yourself carried, can you feel this on the phone? You better believe it. You know when you're dead on the phone if you know how to read this. All right? Embrace challenge. Expect it. Okay? I'm not afraid of negative. You know, I never have been. Sometimes people say, hey, why do you want to bring up negative? That's just not good. It's like, well, what planet are you living in? You know? Because it's out there and you can't control it. So you better prepare your people for it, to expect it, so that they can withstand it. Otherwise, they're going to get knocked down and some never get up. There is no time for management. That's what this company is here for. These guys will manage the business for us. That's what they're about. They work for you. You heard Scott Schwartz tell you that from stage. They're your employees. This is your building. This is your room right here. And they know that. That's the key. And you guys know that too, because anytime you've ever shown up here, you've been treated like royalty. Okay? I don't care what your pin level is. All right? Our job is not to manage anything. Our job is to light fuses. We want to light fuses so there's so much activity you can't even get to it all. There's so much going on that there's so much energy, people are just drawn in. They don't have to be beat over the head. You don't want to be a hen. I mean, I've seen this a lot. Some of you guys have seen this a lot, where you work at the business and you'll get a call from one of your downline, you know, hey, Jeff, I got this guy. And if we get this guy, we're going to be so freaking rich. He is so good. Wow, cool. A couple weeks later, how's it going, man? Hey, I got this guy. And he doesn't have time. When I called him, hey, we get him though. Meanwhile, they haven't talked to anybody else. Okay, this is not a scarcity issue, guys, and no one's going to make or break your deal. The most important person in your business is you. Period. Recruit yourself first so you're locked in. It doesn't matter who else comes into the business at all. You know? I remember Brent Bryson. Any of you guys know Brent Bryson? If you don't, you will. Okay? Brent's one of the most successful distributors in this company. Okay? And I don't mean just because he makes $1 zillion. He's good because he understands it all. Okay, but there was a time Brent got into business. He thought he had to have a certain guy in his deal because this guy was the big business guy, right? And Brent calls the guy because Brent comes from the business world. He owns Subway franchises, rental properties. When I met him, he had 9 Subways. I think it was like 20 or 30 rental properties. You know, I mean, it was just a time killer, just choking him to death. When I met him, that was the kind of guys he knew, and they all thought they were cool, right? Because they're these guys, they're these business guys, right? We're cool. Our life sucks, but we're cool. And so Brent talked to him, and the guy just beats him to death. He says, man, are you kidding me? It's got this bad for you? I used to respect you, Brent, and now I just lost all respect for you. What do you think Brent did? He calls me up and he says, I quit. I said, okay. If you want to quit, quit. My question for you is, did that guy offer to pay for your mortgage? What about your children? They're all little. They're going to go to school. They're going to have needs. Is he going to pay for that? Has he offered to really put you on his, payroll and wipe your nose and your butt the whole way along? Did he offer that for you? I didn't think so. But you can go ahead and quit. And then I hung up. Calls back about 10 minutes later. Okay, I'm back in. Don't be a hen. We're not hatching anything. We're lighting fuses. We're moving through the market. We're slashing through, and we're finding people who want to do this. And we are not taking prisoners. Okay? You are powerful beyond what you can believe you can do. You just have to believe you can do it. And go do it. All right? We're all built the same way. We're all human beings. We all have hearts and souls. And those hearts and souls are powerful, whether you know that now or not. You knew it when you were younger. You got to believe again, right? And then it happens. Inoculate your people. Perseverance through adversity. I promise you the adversity